Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I certainly appreciate both your subscriptions and your viewership. Okay, so what I like to do is to engage you into a brief book review of a resource I think might benefit many of you as you continue with your mediumship studies. Okay, so as you can see here, the book that we're going to be reviewing here is Everything, Ladies and Gentlemen, Happens for a Reason. Love, Free Will, and the Lessons of the Soul. Now, this book was written by Suzanne Northrop. Okay. The publishers of this book was North Star 2 LLC. Okay. The book is a short read, ladies and gentlemen. It's about 267 pages here. Okay. I'm just looking through this and I see that I purchased this book back in 2010. So I've had it for some time now. Okay. And the book is structured in 10 chapters. Okay. And one of the things that Suzanne expresses in the preface is that she hopes that readers will walk away with an expanded understanding of life after death and afterlife, and how each soul creates its own program for learning the key disciplines. And she wants you to understand that love never dies, ladies and gentlemen. And with this book, with everything happens for a reason, because it does in fact happen for a reason. Every joy, every hurt, love, and loss happens for a reason. Every person and situation, whether difficult, confusing, or either joyous. Okay? So what I like to do is to start off by sharing with you what the contents of this book includes. And hopefully, if it's a source that you like, you would go out and purchase it. Okay? So, of course, it's structured in 267 pages. It has 10 chapters, starting with a preface, acknowledgments, and an introduction wherein she talks about her experience as a trance medium and why she believes, ladies and gentlemen, that everything simply happens for a reason. Okay? She also talks about her early development and how she got involved in mediumship to begin with. Okay? In chapter 1, ladies and gentlemen, she talks about making contact. She talks about her various experience and how contacting spirits became a natural experience for her. And I really like the examples here that she shares in this chapter 2 as well, ladies and gentlemen. In chapter 2, she gives us or tries to provide an understanding of the afterlife or death. And she wants us to understand or just to see that death is a new beginning. And she posits that the bond certainly never ends. And she wants us to understand, ladies and gentlemen, particularly in this chapter, that we never die alone or pass over alone. And it just simply doesn't stop with physical death. In chapter 3, ladies and gentlemen, she talks about the boundary program, where she explains which happens to me a lot, and I'm sure it will happen to a lot of you guys if it's not already happening, where spirits don't come just because you call them. They're always there. Okay? And they're there whether you want them to be there or not. So you have to establish appropriate boundaries here. This is what she's talking about here. Okay? And she says it's very important that you do so. All right? So, moving on to chapter 4, ladies and gentlemen, she talks about the concept of free choice. In this chapter, she explains the importance of believing in a higher power, but knowing with equal conviction that you've been given the gift of free will, ladies and gentlemen. And whether there is free will or and where there is free will, she says there must, by definition, be choice. And ladies and gentlemen, this is simply why spirits aren't allowed really to interfere with our ability to follow our own path, however much we might want them to at times, or to make our decisions. She also talks about, ladies and gentlemen, karma, for you guys who want to have a better understanding of karma and how it kind of incorporates into things. And she also wants you to know the soul's journey. Even, in fact, our decisions to choose our own parents, to even choose our family members. And she shows us in the end of this chapter, or at the end of this chapter, how we can embrace positive change. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this discussion, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, share it with others to whom you think might benefit, and be sure to press that subscription button so that you receive all future readings, okay? Moving right along to chapter 5, ladies and gentlemen, she talks about every soul has a program. And it's true. And what she says in this chapter is that the soul program lies at the heart of our being, producing the blueprint, or if you will, a map of our journey. The circumstances, ladies and gentlemen, that will create our reactions and teach or not teach some of us the lessons that we really need to learn while here on earth, okay? In chapter 6, ladies and gentlemen, she talks about the grieving task. She provides very, very, very insightful, vivid examples explaining, ladies and gentlemen, that although death is a transition, it doesn't really mean we won't grieve, because we are. You have to recognize that. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, she posits we have to grieve in order to kind of reach a new level of understanding, okay, of resolution. For holding on to anger certainly never does any good, and she provides very, very good reasons why. She says, and I quote, "Anger is like a brick wall. Sometimes it can be built so strongly that it would take a bulldozer to bring it down." Isn't that something? Okay? In chapter 7, ladies and gentlemen, she talks about how souls find one another. And she talks about the fact that they tend to pull to similar vibrations and etc. In chapter 8, she talks about choosing and or losing a parent and what that entails. Very, very useful example, specific example to convey her sentiments here. In chapter 9, ladies and gentlemen, she talks about parents and siblings, the loss of a child and what that entails. And she provides, once again, very, very useful examples to help convey the essence of her sentiments. Her arguments throughout the book here are very cogent, ladies and gentlemen. And then finally, in chapter 10, she talks about spouses, friends, and also pets, and you know what that entails, particularly when you've lost one of those. And then, of course, she gives a conclusion to this book, as well as there's a little excerpt should you want to know more about this author. Okay? So before closing, I forgot to tell you how much this book costs. Let's see if it's still on here. I don't think it was that much. Okay. It was $24, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? In the US. I don't see a price for Canada, so rest assured that it's probably going to be higher, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are there. Okay, so thanks so much for your time and viewing. I certainly look forward to hearing your comments, all right, with regards to this book. And certainly we could have some type of a discourse with it should any of you decide to purchase it. Please give this discussion a big thumbs up, share it to others to whom you think might benefit, and be sure to press that subscription button, okay? Should anyone wishes to have a more personalized reading, you can certainly access my website to schedule or to purchase there, okay? Thanks so much for your time. Bye for now.